Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Angie's Angles. It is October the 14th in the year of our Lord 2021. I see Never Ending Sag is signed on already, so thank you for being here. What's the agenda? He's asking. Well, we have a big night tonight, full of surprises, full of questions, full of answers. Perhaps we'll see what happens. So we're 28 seconds into our broadcast, which, by the way, we are broadcasting live for the 29th consecutive week right here on Angie's Angles. I bring it to you every week without fail. I brought it to you from Memphis, Tennessee. I brought it from Alabama. I brought it from New Jersey. I brought it from the LIE. I'm bringing it from here and there and everywhere. So thanks for joining us on Angie's Angles tonight. Let's get it kicked off. Danny's Road to the Show, brought to you by Olio Restaurant, Stamford, Connecticut. Steve Costanzo, chef owner, buddy of mine. Go see him, mention Angie's Angles, and get 10% off that check. Support my buddy up in Stamford. So Danny's Road to the Show. Danny had 4 games this past weekend, maybe more than 4 games. I think he had 4 games. I think they were all on Sunday. He had a doubleheader in the morning and a doubleheader in the afternoon. Kind of really ruined the surprise that I tried to do for Barb. It was her birthday last week, and I tried to have a birthday dinner that just never materialized. I'm gonna have to make it up to her somehow. But she's a trooper, and her sons always come first. So she was a trooper, and Danny did well. Danny's playing with an injured finger, as we all know, and he's muscling through it. So kudos to Danny. As a matter of fact, he was just asked to play a couple games this weekend more in addition to what he's got going on. So he's going to have a doubleheader Saturday night, and he's going to have a doubleheader Sunday. He's got a tournament, so he's got a game Friday night, Saturday morning. He'll have a doubleheader Saturday night and doubleheader on Sunday. Holy hell! No, 1 game on Sunday. So scratch that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games this weekend for that kid. You know what he has me do? Nick Troiano is on Angie's Angles. Hey, Nick. I don't know. Listen, Nick. Just like I tell Mark Alberti. Like I tell Mark Alberti, this is baseball only channel. We don't do football. We don't do basketball. We don't do hockey. I'm sorry, Nick. But I'll give you a shout out. The Islanders is 2-2 right now against the Hurricanes in the second period. He corrected himself. Nick Troiano checking in from I don't know. You at the Coliseum, Nick? So that was Danny's Road to the Show, brought to you by Olio Restaurant, Stamford, Connecticut. So we have a couple congratulations to give out there. We have to congrats the Atlanta Braves, the Boston Red Sox, and the Houston Astros. As Meatloaf says, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And what I'm talking about is 2 out of 3 cheaters ain't bad. Boston and the Astros are known cheaters in baseball. We could throw the Yankees in there, but I don't see Terry, so I won't go down that road right now unless Terry jumps on. But Boston Red Sox and the Houston Astros have been guilty of cheating the game, of stealing signs, and they both advanced. Curious, but this is for Kevin Carden. The Atlanta Braves, I think they're clicking. I predicted a sweep of the Brewers. I came up 1 game shy. The Brewers won 1 game, and the Braves did what they had to do to win the next 3. I think the Braves are at a point collectively. I think Freddie Freeman is just unconscious. The guy just never gets tired. Kevin Carden's on Angie's Angles from Georgia. I am officially interstatal on Angie's Angles. Thanks, Kev, for joining us. So, Kev, just jump on that thing. All right. I'm sorry. Nick's talking to Never Ending Sag over there. Nick wants Billy Bean to be the president of baseball operations. You know what, Nick? You just give me a little fodder. Thanks for the intro to my next comment. I don't think Billy Bean is suited for the New York Mets, and I'm going to tell you why. Billy Bean's been very, 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 very successful. I think I mentioned this last week on Angie's Angles. Billy Bean takes a minuscule payroll, 60 million, 80 million max, 90 million max, and he goes out and fields a team, and the team is very competitive because Billy Bean has a formula: on base percentage, walks, balls batted in play. He's got this formula that these superstars today fail to qualify in his formula. The 150 strikeout guys, the 40 home run, 210 batting average guys. It's not going to work. Billy Bean's formula will not work in New York, where we have $190 million payroll ability. He's not, and with the expectations that we need to field superstars. So, Nick, I appreciate your passion for it, and I know you just posted a comment that he's good friends with Sandy Alderson. Sandy's got to go. Somebody show Sandy the door. Sandy, there's the door. Go take a hike. Sandy's got to go. We got to bring in somebody. We got to bring Buck Showalter in as our manager. I would not be opposed to making Buck the GM and the man. I would not be opposed to that. Might be radical. I wouldn't be opposed to it. If he's up for the task, I'd sign him in a nanosecond. So yeah, Kev, getting back to those Braves, they are clicking on all cylinders. I think they've got the mojo going. I think they've got the team camaraderie going. I think they believe and pick each other up. That goes a long way. And that's where I get into these debates with my friends and my fellow Met fans. The manager has a lot to do with the success of a team. Just like at work. I come in, I'm down, I'm having personal issues, I'm ill, I'm not feeling well. Whatever the case might be that day, that's how my staff's going to react. If I come upbeat, chipper, go get it attitude, that's how my staff's going to be. Same thing in baseball. Same thing in baseball. Dennis Mahoney on Angie's Angles. Long time, first time. Dennis, nice to see you, pal. I appreciate it. Thanks for showing up tonight. So the Braves are clicking. I really see this happening. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to predict an Atlanta Brave, Boston Red Sox World Series. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with Atlanta Braves, Boston Red Sox. That's what I'm predicting. I have to hope that Boston demolishes the Astros in their playoff, and I think the Braves will handle either the Giants or the Dodgers. If I'm the Braves, I don't care who I play. I think the Braves have a destiny. They have a mission. I think they're focused. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, so Nick, Kevin Long is going to be the hitting coach of the Phillies. I don't think it's going to hurt us at all. Listen, when we got Kevin Long from the Yankees, I was so against it. I mean, we get Willie Randolph as a manager for the from the Yankees, who was a ball player. We get Kevin Long. Can the New York Mets have their own damn identity? I don't need to be, oh, look, Kevin Long was a Yankee hitting coach and he helped. I don't need to hear that crap. Bring Angelo M. Gagliano Sr. onto the Mets as the hitting coach, and I guarantee you success. I fix swings. I tell you, I've got an eye. I can do that. And Rob Manfredo, if you ever want to resign, I too can do your job. So Angelo M. Gagliano, for those listening at home, and I know you are. So, good luck to the Braves and good luck to the Giants Dodgers tonight. I personally would like to see the Giants move on. You got a couple of veterans on that team that are not going to be around much longer. The Dodgers, the Dodgers is a team that money bought. Now, they got talent, okay? They absolutely have talent. They have pitching. They have pitching. But this Logan Webb kid, holy Christmas, did he pitch a gem the other night? What did he go, 7, 9 strikeouts, couple of hits? The guy was phenomenal. And he looked like he was babyface Nelson on the mound there. He looked like he was 12 years old. So very happy to see that happen. We're at the 8:40 mark here on Angie's Angles. As I mentioned, we're coming off of Barbara's birthday weekend. That was a little bit of a debacle at times, so I apologize again. I don't see Barb on. I don't see Danny on. Where's Danny? I mean, I do a Danny Road to the show, and Danny can't even log on. I don't know what's going on there. All right. So Kevin's a big Atlanta Brave fan down from Georgia, and he's telling me that the Braves always struggle with the Dodgers. He wants the Giants win tonight. Careful what you wish for, Kev. Careful what you wish for. The Giants are formidable, and I really think that they can handle the Braves a little bit better than the Dodgers. Danica is on Angie's Angles. What's up, Danica? Get that boyfriend of yours on here. So, anyways, that takes us through that. So we're gonna switch gears a little bit and move on to another topic, and this whole mandate vaccine thingamajiggy. Now we're getting airline stickiness issues. We've got workers at Southwest walking out on the job because they're protesting the mandated vaccine. Um, you all know where I stand with that. I think it's your body, your choice. I do not condemn those that receive the vaccine, nor shall I condemn those that refuse the vaccine. I think it is 100% your body, your choice. Nobody should be forced to do something that they're unwilling to do, or inject themselves with something they're unwilling to inject themselves. That is still not an official FDA approved measure. And that's all vetted and documented. I'm not going to go into it. We could debate that all night. So Southwest Airline canceled 1,800 flights the other day, and of course they come out. Their PR department comes out spinning it that it was because of the weather. Yeah, it was because of the weather, because it was sunny with a chance of meatballs. I mean, come on now. The employees are staging a walkout. They're refusing to be vaccinated against their will. I totally support them. The governor of Texas has come out and refuted Biden's mandate that employees need to be federal employees need to be vaxxed. He made it a rule, a law in Texas that is not true. You don't have to be. However, I'm reading up tonight an article that says Southwest and American Airlines are still moving forward with the November. I think it was November 24th that all their employees need to be vaxxed. At times I wake up and the world is just confusing. It's baffling. It's chaotic. Law-abiding citizens are losing their everyday God-given alienable rights to perps. Criminals are now not being stopped from shoplifting in stores. Corporate America is telling the employees in the stores, let them loot, let them shoplift, let them go out, let them steal, do not interfere. The police brass are telling the foot patrols, don't touch them, let them walk by you, let them go. People, what's going on in America? What is happening? We need to take America back and be the America that we need to be. Help the impoverished, help the downtrodden, help those seeking political asylum or religious asylum. That's valid. All of that is valid, and that is who we were, who we've become, who we should remain to be. But I'm having a hard time when the President of the United States is allowing undocumented, and I'll be respectful, undocumented aliens, immigrants, to cross our border, come into our states without mandatory vaccines. So explain to me how a mandatory or a vaccine is so empowering to the survival of America, so imperative, so necessary that every single American needs to be vaxxed. Yet we're allowing 18,000, 20,000, 50,000 undocumented immigrants to cross our border unvaxxed and saying it's no big deal. You can't have it both ways, folks. Either the vax is the cure-all, save-all, or it's not. And if it is, and you want the Americans to be vaxxed, it would help optically if you tell the undocumented immigrants you must be vaxxed before you come in also. Otherwise, it's a shit show. And that's what Joe Biden's all about. He's a complete shit show. He is a puppet. He is a shill. He is whatever you want to call it. But he is not a president because he's not leading the American people. He's leading and championing the undocumented immigrant that is crossing our border unvaxxed, going into our communities unvaxxed, while our nurses are being fired. Our frontline workers who lived through epic times without a vaccine, without proper PPE. Now those nurses are being told, get the hell out of here. You ingrate, you getting us all sick potential person because you're not vaxxed. Who the hell are they to tell us that? I'm sorry. I know I'm going off a little rocky road here. I might even be going off the cliff a little bit, but I can't hold back. I cannot hold back. It is insanity what's happening. It is insanity when I stop at a red light and there'll be a police car next to me and somebody runs a red light and they go. And it's not the patrol men and women's fault. It is the brass that are giving them the orders to stand down. And I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Yeah, Kev, I agree. They need more than vaccines. That's correct. They need to be vaxxed. They need to get the vaccinations like we have to for the polio, for the mumps, for the measles, etc., etc. Correct. It's a scary, scary show, but that's what the Dems need. The Democrats need those votes because they're not going to get those votes from law-abiding citizens that are following the rules. I've said my piece on that. And that's not to say that the illegal, the undocumented immigrants coming across the board are not law-abiding people. Some of them are fine. I don't cast aspersions on any of that. All I'm saying is our government is making it very difficult for me to be a proud American because it's starting to falter. It's starting to falter. I can't look at our government with any hope or faith. I worry sickly about my children. I have an older son who has quite opposite views of myself, and we respectfully go at it at times. And I respect his opinion. He tolerates mine. I won't say he respects it, but I think he tolerates mine to keep this relationship alive. And it's really ripping families and friends apart. I see it all the time on Facebook. People are dropping like flies. So we got off the topic of sports just to bring that in because I told you this is not only about baseball. This is about politics. It's about my twisted view on the world, and I'm going to let you know. Thanks, Lonnie. I appreciate that. Lonnie wants me to stick to baseball because Lonnie and he's a good man and he's very respectful as well. And we go at it at the Cigar Lounge. And Lonnie, that's a great segue. Join my friends at Smoke Therapy, 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue in Ronkonkoma, New York. As for Lonnie and Mike, mention Angie's Angles, you get 10% off your purchase. Lonnie, that's perfect timing because I promised to promote you guys. I've used their location to broadcast. I'm going to get back in there. They're probably going to stick me in the humidor because it's nice and quiet in the humidor. My only problem with that is I can't smoke inside the humidor, but I'll have a stogie in my mouth waiting to light up after the podcast. Linda, hey Linda, how are you? Nice, thank you so much for joining us, Linda. It's great to see you. How are things down in VA? I hope things are going well for you. So, yeah, Kev, I don't know if you were here last week, but we're working on something, Kevin. We're working on it. We're going to see what we can do. I've switched to YouTube Studio, so maybe my audience could expand. I get a couple more followers, and then we'll see what happens. So we're at the 8:50 mark. We got 10 minutes left. I gave you my little speech about the vaccine. We covered playoff baseball. We talked about Billy Beane as a potential. Oh, Lonnie, they're setting up a new potential spot for it. Very nice, Lonnie. All right, I'm gonna look forward to that. I'm gonna have to stop by, take my measurements. I'm 6'3", 190, give me a little elbow room, because my hands go crazy. I'm like Crazy Eddie, right? Prices are insane. Anyway, for those old timers who knows what that was all about, Nick Troiano, you don't know, have any idea what I'm talking about with Crazy Eddie, but that's okay. You too, Danica. That's funny. Lonnie, I appreciate that greatly. That's very nice of you. I look forward to it. So, let's get back to the manager hunt, right? We've got um, we got 10 minutes. I have put out there ad nauseum that I want Buck Showalter. I want Buck Showalter. I want Buck Showalter. There's no other man for me but Buck Showalter. Now, I'm gonna give a couple of I haven't always been right. I thought back in the day when we got Art Howe, I really thought Art Howe was going to be the cure all end all, and he was a bust. He was a bust. He was worse than Charlie Manuel from the Phillies. Art Howe was a country bumpkin. Now, when Art Howe was a ball player, that guy was a feisty ball player. You did not mess with him at all. And so when Art Howe came to the Mets, I really was excited, and it just turned out to be a complete mismatch. I'm not going to be wrong about Buck Showalter. And if Buck Showalter goes to San Diego Padres, you better watch out. Padres are going to run away with it. Buck Showalter is class, he's disciplined, he is old school baseball. So, Debbie Silberg, is that you, Dave? Is that Dave? Buck Showalter too stoked? No, I don't think so. He's not. No, Buck is no nonsense. Buck, listen, I think Buck could laugh with the best of them and pass a joke with the best of them, but Buck's going to bring you baseball. That's what we go to watch, yeah? We go to watch baseball. Hit the ball, catch the ball, throw the ball. Thanks for joining us. I know Linda had something to do with your recruitment. So, Linda, I really appreciate you going out there getting us audience members. You're doing all right there, Linda. I tell you, Linda's one of our founding members, so I really, really, really appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Um, Buck brings instant credibility to the Mets. He brings a wealth of knowledge. He brings fundamental baseball. He brings a philosophy. So we're lacking that philosophy, in my opinion. We're lacking it. And all right, buddy, buddy. Dave's having a little problems, not knowing why he's on his wife's account, but you're all good, brother. You're here, and that's all that matters. I appreciate that. Dave, another high school friend of mine, class of '83, Oceanside High School. Dave, Linda, Kevin, we all went to Oceanside High. We graduated '83. So thank you guys for joining me. And Linda, thanks for the recruiting job. Greatly appreciate that. We're at the 8:53 mark. We got 7 minutes left, and I have added something to our show, which is called the uh, obscure baseball rule, right? Um, so I guess we've got Denny's Road to the Show sponsored by Olio. So why not, Lonnie? Tonight's obscure baseball rule is sponsored by Smoke Therapy, located at 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue, Ronkonkoma, New York. Ask for Lonnie and Mike. Mention Angie's Angles. Get 10% off that cigar, baby. So here's a obscure rule that I picked up tonight to broadcast about. In the case of wet weather or inclement weather, the umpire has the specific authority to instruct the pitcher to put the rosin bag in his pocket. Now that makes sense, right? So if it's raining and the pitcher is needing a better grip, so everybody knows what the rosin bag is, yes? So the rosin bag is this residue, this powder that's in a rosin bag, right? It's made of that the pitcher tosses up and down on his pitching hand and dries his hands out, gives him a little feel for the ball because we don't want Jacob DeGrom throwing 97-mile-per-hour pitches in the rain with no grip on that ball. God knows that ball gets on top of you rather quickly. So that's our obscure rule of the day. The umpire has a specific authority too. In the case of wet weather, instruct the pitcher to put the rosin bag in his pocket. So We're at the 8:55 mark. We've got 5 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions? Fundamental baseball. So Dave's asking fundamental baseball. True, we lack that. Yeah. So kind of like sure. So if you want to say Buck Showalter Stoic, incorporate the bunt, the hit and run, base to base baseball. Let's not wait for the big boppers to hit over the wall. We need to go back to if you're on first and the ball's hit into the gap, not to look at the ball, but to pick up your coach. These guys are wasting too much time looking at the ball. Then they miss the bag or they got to re-pick up where the bag is. No, look forward. Take a look to your left. Your coach is either sending you or holding you. They see the play better than you can. Yes, Ray. Welcome, Ray Hughes. Ray Hughes is in the house on Angie's Angles. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us. Ray is a soccer aficionado. We keep it off the air, the soccer stuff, Ray. But thank you for joining us. I don't know where Officer Lennon is tonight. I sent him an invite, but he's not here, so who knows? By the way, let's mention Officer Lennon in the last couple of minutes that we have. Officer Lennon is one of our public safety officers here at Adelphi. Top-notch guy, along with Ray Hughes, Executive Director of Public Safety. We appreciate everything they do, keep our campus safe. Ray Hughes and Officer Lennon, Jerry Lennon, have the Pink Patch program honoring breast cancer. The month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness, and they designed a pink patch. I did have one here. I donated. You get the pink patch. And Jerry Lennon was just on News 12, and I hear, rumor has it, that Officer Lennon is going to be interviewed by Fox News next week. So stay tuned for that. Big happenings for Officer Lennon. Sadly, he lost his sister to breast cancer. And one of the stories he tells is that his sister was deathly afraid of mammograms. She didn't care for them, etc., etc. And sadly enough, she developed breast cancer and died. And I guess in her last words, she implored those that were capable of getting mammograms to go get one. She had wished she had gotten one herself. It might have prolonged her life. So our condolences to Jerry Lennon on the loss of his sister. But he's spreading the word. He's promoting breast cancer awareness. And we tip our hats to him and Ray Hughes. Thank you so much. So I appreciate that, Ray. Thanks for joining us. We're at the 8:57 mark. Any more questions? This is an interactive podcast. Kevin Carden, thanks for joining us. Go Braves. I wish you well. I'm predicting a Brave Boston Red Sox World Series. That would be exciting. The confines of Fenway and the new stadium down in Georgia for the Atlanta Braves. So we're at the 8:58 mark. You got it, Kev. I'm going to sign off. Join us next week. Angie's Angles, YouTube studio, 8:30 Thursdays. Good night. God bless. I love you.